Dragon Quest Swords is one of the most overlooked games in the entire series, and it has one of the most underrated stories in JRPGs. So, I'm here to fix that. And I'm doing that by including every piece of foreshadowing, every hidden detail, every hidden little subplot with the little NPCs that increase the world building that were designed for you to find. All of it blended into one naturally flowing cinematic experience. Sit back, grab some snacks. This is Dragon Quest Swords, cinematically retold.
I found it so frightening. But from where did this memory come? Already 5 years had passed since the defeat of Xiphos, the bringer of death. The world was at peace. But for me, that had little meaning.
The Festival of Swordsmanship is one of the events being held in Avalonia to celebrate the 5th anniversary of Deathbringer Xiphos' fall from this world. A swordmaster that goes by the name of Dao has won the competition and spots his accomplished pupil's son. His pupil is Claymore and invites his son to battle. Claymore is one of the famous warriors who defeated Xiphos the Deathbringer 5 years ago. It is said by tradition that when a man becomes of age, he must undertake the Walk of the Worthy to become an esteemed knight of Avalonia. Claymore watches over you, the hero, fight against his swordmaster, but soon greets Prince Anless in the hall, an old pupil of Claymore who says his mother, the Queen, is sick. Claymore sends the hero home while he runs a few errands, for it's the hero's 16th birthday tomorrow, and will soon take the Walk of the Worthy. On the night of the celebration, at a coast not too far away, a loud, monstrous roar could be heard until the figure engulfs itself into the ocean. Chapter 1: The Walk. The hero awakens to find Claymore happy and says he's proud of what's to come today, and sends the hero off to the castle to get prepared for the Walk of the Worthy. The kingdom of Avalonia is a lush castle town with vibrant citizens that's built around a mountain with a stream of water. Hidden underground on the edge of town is Mini Moggy, who can trade in mini medals that are found across the world for special items, and in another cave lies the kingdom's graveyard. The town has boastful, happy citizens with a tavern, a weapon shop, armor shop, local church, and good old Auntie Stiletto, best fun since Puff Puff. Outside the castle's main gate is a strange female warrior who has travelled far to enjoy the sights of Prince Anless. Colonel Cutlass awaits in the castle and says Her Majesty is too sick, so she will not grant an audience for today's trial. Anless and Minister Misericord also complies with this order, so instead, the minister assumes the role of Her Majesty and conveys the procedure of the walk in her place. And now the hero is ready for the long-standing tradition of Avalonia, a trial to establish merit to oneself. It is said that beyond the plains to the north is the notorious Caliburn Cave. The Walk of the Worthy requires one to safely return from the innermost chamber, the Worth of Worth. And so, hero sets out on his first ever quest into the northern plains to find the Caliburn Cave. Waiting at the cave is a soldier who allows access to the true test ahead. He hands the hero 3 medicinal herbs for his support. Venturing through this dark cave, reaching the innermost chambers, waits Sir Dirk Worthington and challenges the hero to a duel. Defeating him allows hero to take place amongst the ranks of the worthy.
Such mastery of the sword. Thou art worthy. I am defeated. So endeth the Walk of the Worthy.
Chapter 2: Doubt. Returning to Avalonia, the soldier who guards the town's entrance relieves the hero by saying his broken shield can be fixed. A child wonders about the mysterious tower that sticks out from the castle, reaching up to the heavens. It's called the Tower of Mirrors, but nobody is allowed inside, leaving it a mystery for the whole world. Returning to the castle in victory of the trial, the Queen is still occupied elsewhere and cannot congratulate the hero on his successful return. The minister instead has prepared a short speech for his victory.
You were stonking.
And now the hero is ranked amongst Avalonia's most valued knights and takes place as one of the worthy protectors of this great realm. This celebration is short-lived, as the minister worries on Prince Anlis's whereabouts, as he was earlier frustrated to be separated from his mother. As not much could be done, Hero returns home and tells Claymore about his day. Claymore is confused as to the Queen's absence, but is soon interrupted by a sudden knock on the door. The missing prince enters and asks a favour of Claymore, who is worried about his mother's mind and health, for she has ventured off to Galantine Glades without a manservant in attendance. He asks Claymore to escort him in pursuit of the Queen. Claymore declines out of respect for the Queen's intelligence and choices, as she wishes to leave in secret. However, he suggests the Hero could be the one to escort the prince now he has become a man and he cannot trek to Galantine alone, for it is too dangerous. Prince Anlis now joins the Hero and sets off on a journey to Galantine Glades, which is a dark woodland area filled with poison monsters. Some enemies can cast Diminish Shield, which shrinks the Hero's shield for a limited time. Just ahead, Anlis spots a glade, sure that his mother has recently walked this path. But sudden rumbles across the earth are caused by Briquette the Golem, guardian of this garden, and persecutes any trespassers. He lets slip that the organic female escaped him once before and will not let it happen again. Briquette the Golem can pack heavy rapid punches with his hatred for organic humans that pick up when he's engulfed in powerful flames. A cabin is found deep in the woods. A female figure is spotted exiting the cabin and fades into the darkness of the woods. Anlis spots his mother but could not reach her in time. He focuses on the mask she has been wearing recently and questions her business with it. Also exiting the cabin is another lady with a French accent. She introduces herself as Fleurette. Fleurette's brother was one of the heroes that defeated Xiphos 5 years ago, but ever since that battle, he has suffered from an illness, one that magic could not cure. He has since abandoned his sister at the cabin. Anlis knows of her brother, for his name is Aruval. Her Majesty came to meet Aruval whilst on her way to the healing hot spring, but when she discovered Aruval was not there, Her Majesty was not surprised. Fleurette recognises Her Majesty's mask and inquires regarding it, although it is a mystery even to Anlis on the creator of the mask or why she wears it so. Knowing Her Majesty is on her way to a hot spring, Anlis deduces she is unwell and returns to the castle at once to attend her. Fleurette realises that the mask is the one she once saw as a young girl lost in the mountains at Arendite Heights, and her only remaining memories of it are frightening.
I do not have a good feeling about this. Why would the Queen wear such a mask?
Chapter 3. The Mask. Returning to the castle, the townspeople recognise Fleurette from long ago and is glad that the lovely girl who used to serve at the church has returned. She abandoned her sisterly endeavours 5 years ago for a life of seclusion, but right now she is waiting in Claymore's house for the hero's arrival. Fleurette requests that the hero accompanies her to Mount Arendite to revisit where she saw the mask long ago. Talk of the town spreads worrisome rumours of a terrifying monster being sighted, which no one has seen the likes of which before. The minister and colonel are not aware of the Queen's sudden interest in the mask and worry about her. Recently Fleurette came by the castle, demanding attendance with the Queen, which gave all the guards a shock with her disgusted look. Meanwhile, a small boy prays at the grave of his father. Fleurette reminisces of her past memories in the church. She was training to become a nun, but left when her brother fell sick. Unable to speak directly to the Queen, Fleurette is determined to uncover the truth for herself, confident that the Queen's mask is the same mask she saw long ago, though it holds a dark secret. Fleurette insists to name the hero Blade and joins the party, venturing off on the next quest to Arendite Heights. Whilst trekking through Arendite Heights, rock bombs come toppling down a mountain. The mountains are dangerous. The party stumbles across a raft to move past the stream, but still face hordes of mermen. The stream is rapid and nearly crashes the party to land, but they approach a waterfall and ultimately fall to its depths. Safely arriving back to shore without a moment to breathe, soon come more rapid waves of all enemies until reaching a bridge that's being cut down by chimeras. As they finally reach the mountain's peak, which is now a deserted wasteland with no fresh life, Fleurette confirms this is the correct place. A screeching griffin lands on the mountain's peak and questions the party's intent here. This is an envoy of Xiphos and commands that humans do not have the right to roam wherever they may please, and attacks the party. The envoy can frequently drop orcs and rock bombs into the field and throw swift attacks with its sharp claws, flying around the arena and screeching, declaring it owns the mountain and engulfing itself with powerful flames. It can shoot projectile attacks that can be deflected. The hero defeats the envoy of Xiphos with a multi-thrust special attack. Fleurette is so shocked and curious how there is so many fearsome monsters in the world even after the defeat of Xiphos. Looking far on the other side of the mountain, past the fog that's cleared by sunlight, a carving is seen. It depicts a battle against the Deathbringer. Xiphos attacked humanity long before this generation. The people who defeated him then carved these markings. The mask that the Deathbringer is wearing is none other than the same mask the Queen has. It's possible the mask holds power over her, forcing her to act against her will. Nevertheless, Fleurette feels stronger about herself in this victory and has rose her once fallen confidence as she returns back to Avalonia to inform everyone of this news. Chapter 4: Torment. The people of the castle must be informed of the Queen and the mask at once. The peddler friend who heard the rumours of this strange monster sighting has suddenly disappeared. A townswoman wishes that Fleurette would return to the church, for her healing magic was so powerful. It is a shame she lost her confidence and lost faith in herself when she could not heal her brother's illness. Inside the tavern, Claymore's flirting with a young lady who asks about being the hero's new mother, which makes Claymore flustered. An old man recently has heard strange wailing noises from down below, but puts it due to a sign of his old age. Inside the castle, the guards had no choice but to let Fleurette pass as she briefs the minister and Anless on the mask and the Queen. As the colonel declares his disgust at Fleurette's bombardment, a soldier informs him of a fearsome beast sighted in the waters to the east. Troops are dispatched to the area at once. Claymore insists he goes himself and brings the hero along with him and heads to the east coast to uncover the secrets afoot. The people of Avalonia discuss the monster's power despite the defeat of Xiphos. Some have heard of its fish scales across its whole body. Some wonder if it is even a dragon and that it's wearing a gorgeous necklace, most likely got it from a human it killed and ate. The beast was spotted in the east around Seacast Sea Cove, which can only be entered by boat. The cove is a secret passage of water inside a dark, dank cave. The cave soon opens itself up, revealing further its eerie nature, leading the boat back to a small crevice to proceed on foot. Deep in the cave lay powerful restless knights and metal slimes. It's easy to get lost in a cave with so many passages, soon to find the scaly beast causing all the trouble in a large cave with an underground waterfall. Claymore, however, finds the beast to be somewhat human. Once it becomes aware of its visitors, it screeches and declares a battle. This beast is sneaky. It can throw poison projectiles and attack quickly, also fleeing into the water, sending mermen into the fight. All it wants is to be left in solitude. But it is defeated by the hero. Claymore moves closer to finish off the beast, but is interrupted by Fleurette.
Stop! Do not do it!
Fleurette insists on saving this beast, for it is her brother. This beast is Aruval and says his body has gotten worse since he left Fleurette. He cannot control his body, for Xiphos has control. He is engulfed in flaming aura and escapes into the water, leaving behind a necklace. Fleurette explains the story of what happened to Aruval. He was hit by a strong fever. His body began to turn into scales that repelled Fleurette's magic. She prayed to the goddess for him to be cured. They left Avalonia to live in the forests where no one could see him, and she never lost hope. She was certain he could be treated, but she awoke one morning and he was gone. Claymore notices the resemblance between Aruval and the Deathbringer's appearance 5 years ago and realises he did not destroy Xiphos after all. Fleurette deducts the mask must be linked to this and sets off to find the Queen. Chapter 5: The Tower. As they return back to Avalonia, all the townspeople have heard of the Queen's sudden disappearance and have gathered around the castle in worry. Anlis and the minister are shocked that very recently the Queen arrived home and swiftly disappeared the next minute, into none other than the Tower of Mirrors. It is said that the tower has many monsters sealed within it. Florette questions why the tower exists in the first place and where it came from. The minister himself does not know. Only the royal family has access to such information, but to Anlis's surprise, he too was not aware of its secrets. The minister knows of a secret button on the back of the throne and unlocks a secret door behind it. The tower is a royal spectacle to behold, feeling majestic and magical with a sense of peace, and it's sneakily filled with powerful monsters. The royal temple's never-ending stairs come to a halt at a stage where it's broken, so the hero decides to advance by climbing the outer edge of the tower on such a tiny ledge facing the world. He finds a secret elevator that takes him high up the clouds, nearing closer to the heavens and the tower's peak. He continues his trek and the golden royal tower now changes into a dim blue magical climb. The tower's peace is soon caught off guard by more waves of enemies relentlessly attacking. As the hero pushes forward, he finds a sealed door with an inscription. Brave challengers of the mirrored tower, hold your courage in your hearts and step into the void. But the rest of the sentence is too faint to read. Upon turning around to the ledge, lost in sight of the sky, he falls down. Landing on a lower platform, he then re-enters the tower to find a mystical elevator, which takes him to the Queen. He finds Queen Katana uttering magical spells in a mysterious language and casts a spell on a magical mirror, opening a gate into the mirror world. The Queen is controlled by this mask, forcing her to open this dark portal, so the hero slices the mask open and frees the Queen's mind. A voice can be heard, laughing in sheer joy and amusement. Whoever this voice belongs to, it was waiting an age for the mask to be compromised.
I am Zyphos. Your kind know me as the bringer of death. But let us not forget terror, misery, and despair. I too was less than pleased when this one confined me inside her body with a roaring mask. I confess I had not planned for that. But 5 years was time enough for me to recover, and now I am free. Witness the beginning of a new reign of terror.
The thought and celebration of Zyphos' defeat 5 years ago was just a careless assumption, for he was only resting, safely hidden inside of Queen Katana and Araval. Queen Katana wakes up and reveals she felt Zyphos' spirit inside of her ever since his defeat 5 years ago, and spent such time searching for a way to free herself from his influence, which led her fate to the mask, named the Rorim Mask, which was created for the sole purpose of subduing the Deathbringer, in contrast to the assumption that it belonged to him. The inscriptions they found carved into Mount Arendite, showing the mask being worn by Zyphos, was not true at all. In fact, the soldiers from long ago was forcing it onto his face. Some disgusting voice is now heard, mocking Anlis and the Queen.
All these emotions makes me want to vomit. I am Großmesser. I know what you're thinking. Why do I have a big fork, not a big knife? Well, I just do, yeah?
Zyphos has ordered the Queen be brought to him and opens an attack onto the others.
Kleine Männchen schauen in den Spiegel. Großmessering friends are open for business.
Grobmesser's large fork sweeps the area and he can shoot large fireballs. He is always surrounded by an army of his spellcasting friends. He ultimately falls at the foot of the hero. As Grobmeister is defeated, the Queen awakens unharmed. Claymore makes haste to prepare for the reign of terror Xiphos will soon bring upon the world. Florette keeps hope for her brother's health. Now that the Queen has been saved, perhaps Araval can be saved too. But when leaving to return to the castle, Avalonia is hit with a sudden earthquake. The once lush green landscape is turned red with lava and the clear skies are darkened. A mountain close to Mount Arendite has collapsed into a sea of lava, and a pretentious castle has risen up in its midst as a result of Xiphos' newfound freedom. Chapter 6. Reflection. Back at the castle, the Queen returns level-headed and discusses with the council regarding Xiphos' evil return. He has surrounded his castle with a moat of lava to stop any full frontal attacks, implying his current invulnerability. The Deathbringer's evil cannot be contained without the Roaring Mask, and any attack now would be futile. The mask sheds a beam of light and Swordmaster Dao enters. The spirit of the mask cannot be so easily broken despite its physical form. The Roaring Mask was fashioned by the ancestors long ago when Xiphos first threatened the peace. It is a product of their knowledge of the mirror world. It remains as the only weapon in existence capable of subduing the Deathbringer. It is said that to create the mask, the light of the sun was harvested in the Tower of Mirrors over many centuries. Claymore believes someone in the mirror world may have knowledge on how to fix the mask. Queen Katana entrusts the Roaring Mask to the hero as he prepares to venture into the mirror world. She expresses her deepest sorrow for forcing Claymore to battle Xiphos once again. The journey into the mirror world may be perilous and unknown, and preparations must be doubled before entering. The whole town is fearful for what may soon come, but some relay their trust in the Queen's ability. In the tavern, as some in fear drown themselves in drinks, an old man reveals Claymore and some of the others who defeated Xiphos 5 years ago are still here. He remains calm and has faith they will be able to save the world. Some of the townsfolk have taken shelter in the church. It may be small, but it was sufficient enough to protect them 5 years ago. The small boy from earlier at his dad's grave wonders that when Xiphos decides to attack, if he will end up in the same grave as his father, and hopes it does happen so he won't be lonely. He may feel lonely without his father, but his grandfather remains to protect him. A woman's husband died in the battle against Xiphos 5 years ago, and she prays that he watches over her from the heavens. The door to the mirror world is no simple door. The hero is flying through this portal with enemies flying into him. The creeping music adds a sense of the unknown and mystery of whatever may be at the end of this mystical tunnel. The group reaches the heart of the mirror world. A curious statue in the centre welcomes the visitors who come from beyond the glass. He sees the treacherous humans are the ones who clothe the sacred mask in twain. Florette denies any responsibility and points blame toward Blade, and this intrigues Draug, inviting him to make proof of his strength. In this epic showdown of might, Draug throws rapid punches and kicks, toppling the group. He abducts the party temporarily before throwing them away. Draug is a powerful guardian of the mirror world. Eventually, Draug is satisfied by the visitors from beyond the glass having made proof of their strength, and now shall assist them. The Roaring Mask is imbued with the power of the Tower of Mirrors, created for the sole purpose of imprisoning Xiphos. Ignorant to this, it was cloven in twain. Now, after committing such ignorance, the humans ask for Draug's help, for it has ever been his sacred duty to repair the mask. And forges the two halves of the Roaring Mask into one again. Draug also presents a gift, a magical sword, the Red Nusadna, the Rorim sword. It has the power to defeat a great evil. Only after learning how to wield the blade will one be ready to face Xiphos. Chapter 7. The Parting. The Queen greets everyone back to the kingdom and is pleased to see the repaired mask and acquiring of the Rorim sword. Claymore refuses to lend credence to Anlus's theory of when using the sword in the right manner, it may unleash its magic and play an integral role in defeating Xiphos, although Swordmaster Dao enters and enlightens them. He says few commander spirits centered enough to wield it, for it is a blade steeped in legend. He who masters the sword's hidden technique shall rend land and sea asunder to fell a great evil. The technique is named the Figure of Fate. The way of the sword is infinite, and one must make their spirit one with this blade to master its secrets. And the training begins. Colonel Cutlass is ecstatic at the acquiring of the Rorim sword, and Anlus was accosted without any warning by a warrior woman. He complimented her impressive, almost manly, musculature, and she became rather angry. After convincing her way into the castle and being able to speak to the handsome prince, she thinks it's due time for her to return home, and questions whether she really is that muscly. The townspeople have made preparations to deter the Deathbringer's attacks, as many are still fearful. They are ready to fight. Some are embracing death, and some are looking for a sliver of hope. The little boy thinks it wouldn't be so lonely if everyone in town ended up living in the same grave. The sea of lava has made its way to Galantine Glades and is where the hero sets off. The forest at first seems normal, unharmed, filled with its regular monsters, until nearing the centre, as the lava spreads, destroying the ground, turning it into a terrifying hellscape. The time has come to put Rednauser to the test by using the secret technique. The castle seems too overbearing, but a powerful slash is shot, splitting the sea of lava in two, opening a holy path straight to Xiphos. At the end of the sea's rift, a monstrous ogre demon defends the castle gate. He may have low intelligence and unable to clearly speak, but he is Golok the gatekeeper and takes out his anger on the group. Golok's stupidity is forgiven with his strength by whacking his club into the ground and batting rapid explosive rock bombs toward the hero. Now Golok is defeated. The gate to Xiphos' castle opens by the touch of a finger. Xiphos allows the gate to open, for he is expecting company. Chapter 8 Deathbringer. The Deathbringer's castle is too large to even see. Ominous fire spreads across the horizon, crystallized lava drilled to the surface, with a large Cyclops statue far in the distance. The only way through is on paths of fire. The trail leads through fire and flames, naturally looping around the giant Cyclops. As they climb stairs, they'll discover a temple-like stairwell leading up to the Cyclops. The hero takes long paths climbing up to its head to jump down onto a floating platform. The Cyclops then gazes its eye and shoots lasers towards them. There is no way to attack a Cyclops this huge head-on. Hero instead deflects its attacks back at its eye to defeat it. A staircase rises into the Cyclops' mouth, revealing a portal. Through this portal, inside this galactic magical dimension, is a straight platform. After defeating 3 ogre guardians, a yellow light breaches the sky and pulls the hero toward the light, where Xiphos awaits. Aruval is found at the foot of the throne. Xiphos wishes to reclaim his body by using Aruval as a vessel. When Xiphos fought 5 years ago, he admits he was somewhat careless, as he sensed his impending doom. He severed his body from his spirit and concealed it in his enemies, where he regained his strength. His plan was almost perfect, although he did not anticipate the Queen's attempt to cage him within a mask.
Time for my resurrection has come! Humanity shall bow to a new order of terror, misery, despair, and death.
Xiphos the Deathbringer engages in a final battle. His wit keeps him far away from the hero as he throws his sword and shoots large stone structures which are hard to block. He can also deploy magic orbs that are able to be deflected back towards him. Xiphos falls to defeat, but this was a trap. He was testing the hero's strength. Now he may transform into the splendor of his new form.
Through terror, morbid misery, and dire despair, I
I will teach you how to feel them all!
Xiphos' ultimate form has been unleashed in full force. His strength fills him with arrogance as he teases the hero mid-battle. He has his giant shield defending him, and he flies in from afar to attack with his body. Up close, he likes to slash his sword and lunge rapid slash attacks up with his bare hands. His sheer size, power and menace is a full display up close. Looking up towards him only makes him all the more frightening. Xiphos' lack of health bar only makes this fight more intimidating. He did not come unprepared. Much like the hero's Infinity Stroke, Xiphos prepares his Master Stroke capable of wiping out anyone it touches. It cannot be blocked nor avoided. Hero can only attempt to reduce its damage impact. As the fight goes on, Xiphos prepares finishing death orbs, which ultimately is the cause of his own demise. As Xiphos shakes at the thought of his second defeat, he cowers at sight of the roaring mask. It shoots a beam of itself towards Xiphos' head, grasping to it tightly, turning Xiphos into stone. Xiphos is now gone for good. Araval's body returns, but this dimension is crumbling apart without its master. Everyone escapes before they're crushed, except the hero, who runs back to the battleground to retrieve the roaring mask before it's too late. He is caught in the bridge's destruction. Florette managed to catch him in time. At the same beach from the beginning of the game, Araval looks far in solitude. Approaching from behind is Florette and gives him a necklace. The entire gang walks onto the beach and chats as the celebrations begin. Avalonia is finally free of the Deathbringer's menace. The Queen asks Hero to remain as Avalonia's protector, and a party is held in his honour. Florette has decided to stay in Avalonia and return to her duties at the church. The grieving widow is thankful that vengeance was taken for her dead husband. Araval has decided to embark on a journey to make amends for the wrongs he has done. Anlus celebrates as he is hounded by young ladies. The female warrior decides to stay to learn more about Anlus. The drunk man forgot his promise to quit drinking and continues anyway. And Swordmaster Dao wishes to fight in true combat one last time as master and pupil. The entire town wishes to see the hero who saved them all. Anlus and Florette encourage Hero to declare victory to the public. Instead, Claymore convinces him to declare his victory with a powerful statement. Thanks for watching this video. You should click on one of these videos before they disappear. Dragon Quest Swords is a very underrated and dismissed spin-off that I enjoyed a lot. I'd highly recommend it if you're a Dragon Quest fan and just want to give this a go. I would really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe to show your support, and if you enjoyed, let me know which other Dragon Quest games you'd like to see covered just like this one. I'd love to cover more Dragon Quest content in the future, and so I'll see you next time.